from consumer behavior side. Maybe I have tried to be diverse as much as I could do. So pardon me if you don't find anything, any example of SLR from your domain. Definitely we can discuss that and we can find that. So with these words, I would like to start my presentation. So I'm putting my screen on the sharing. I hope we can start now.
Yes, ma'am, we can, ma'am.
Okay. So where it would be sharing in this platform, actually I don't, okay, present now. I hope you can see my screen.
Ma'am, you shared the screen, but abhi PPT, yes, now we can able to see, ma'am.
Yeah.
My full screen share kar dena.
Yeah. You can see?
Yes, ma'am, now. Thank you so much.
So today's topic is systematic literature review. Nowadays, we can see that a lot of people are talking about SLRs. It's not that SLR was not there earlier, but the thing is that as Indians, we were not we were not available with the resources, especially the citations softwares in which we can get all the data. So earlier, our universities were not subscribing to these resources like Web of Science, Scopus, and many others. And dhire dhire, when universities got the pressure of rankings, so they all started subscribing it. Earlier, it was limited to some Premier Institute of India only. So that's why nowadays we see more and more SLR. Second reason which I could see of popularity of SLR, and I'm sure that's why your university is has designed this program that you also come up with one SLR. Is that nowadays we are working in tie-ups. No tie-ups not only from the from our same institution. We are open to tie-ups now, and across India and internationally also we are looking for the people who are working in the same domain or having interest in the same domain. So that eased a task of doing SLR, because SLR is not a easy thing to do, though it seems easy, but it's the most difficult thing. Because why it is so, we will discuss later on in the presentation, and you will also some of you must have experienced this till now, and if not, then we will experience it or we will see it during this 1 hour. So this workshop learning or proposed outcome would be that I'll be talking about the basic concept of SLR. I'll show you basic templates, different templates, and we will see full papers of SLR. We will together discuss some SLR templates, different techniques and guidelines for SLR paper, and how can we prepare the manufacturing manuscript and then publication. Now, SLR, why it is so important? Though it is said that it is easy to map existing literature on any research, whether you accept it or not, there is still one school of thought is there who says that SLR doesn't require anything. It's a desk, research, and you have nothing to do much. And by collating all the information, you are presenting your paper. So that could be one school of thought, but every type of research can be challenged by presenting a beautiful work. And I will show you some of the beautiful work which I have came across, and they believe me, when you will see those paper, you will come to know, or you will understand or at least you will understand what amount of effort the authors have put in. I'm really surprised to see their work. This is the rigorous scientific methodology, because SLR follows some methodology. It's not that whatever paper came into my site or whatever availability was with me or whatever I feel like adding, I have added that. It is not the case. So it follows a proper methodology, which was till now a disadvantage or a criticism of a literature review paper, because generally people used to say, what is the methodology? There is a greater amount of bias, that what you can add, what you cannot add, whatever you want to show, you will show those paper, whatever you don't want to show, you won't show that paper. So basically, when we talk about SLR, all these biases are addressed. Quick publication, not in that sense that it's going to quick means 5 days job or 10 days job. Quick publication here means that if you are really able to get the topic on which till now there is no SLR present, definitely editor would like to have your paper in their journal, because it will increase their site score as well, including yours, H-index. Now, high number of citations. See, SLR is the collection of all the important articles at one place. And whenever you want to do, whenever you want to do any PhD, or you want to guide your students, or you want to write a paper, we always
Ma'am, please. Anand sir, please keep your mic on mute mode, sir. Thank you so much, Anand sir. Sorry, ma'am, please speak.
It will pull a lot of citation. Reason being, because everyone who is working in that domain would like to have one paper which will ease their task in order to finding the paper. What are the main gaps in the paper? So they can cite your paper to write their paper, particularly empirical, that look, this X and X or this et al has told that there is no study in this thing, or we can do this thing, and this SLR is published in this high reputed journal. So definitely your paper work as a guiding torch for many papers to come. At least the shelf life of SLR paper is very high. Shelf life of SLR paper is at least 5 to 7 years. And that too, if it is a very upcoming topic like AI, blockchain, as I was seeing some AI related paper is there. Though it is there in the market, this topic in the market for 5-10 years, but still I can say that it has good shelf life, because whenever you are writing your SLR paper, the first thing you make to sure that on that particular SLR topic which you have chosen, not exact SLR is present in a range of at least 5 years. And 5 years is when the topic is emerging or it's very new. If it is old topic, it is very difficult to defend. So in that cases, it could be 1 decade, old. For example, green marketing, it's old topic. So let's say if I see any SLR on green marketing, and that too published in AA*, when I say already published, it's not that somebody has published it in some paid journal or some low quality journal, and that would also take your chance to publish. It's not that. In research market, or what you will say in research world, people say that whatever available research SLR is published, where it is published, right? So if it is published already in AA*, ABS 2, 3, or some high reputed journal, or B category for that matter, then you lose your chance to write that SLR if it is already existing between 0 to 5 or 5 to 10 years, depending upon the topic. So that means if you are coming up with the topic, it has that much of shelf life. So it's worth putting that amount of energy in SLR paper if you are going to there for a longer period of time. Imagine when we have write an empirical paper, nobody cares, because there are already hundreds and 200s of paper. We just add one construct, one relationship here and there, and unless we are published in very good journal, we are not being even noticed. We are just part of the a big group, a large group. There is nothing very special about us. So comparatively, citations will be pulled more by SLR paper, and that's why we all are putting our efforts here. And we know that in future, impact of research is going to matter rather than quantity of papers, and you must have seen that thing. Now a person who is doing PhD or even in MBA, they are publishing in ABDC, Scopus. When I started my research journey, or for that matter I started my teaching career, nobody knew about Scopus, nobody knew about ABDC, ABS, nobody knew that. But now it's something like Google. It's famous like Google. Everybody who is interested in research, it's a GK of research domain. So one question that comes automatically in our mind, okay, SLR, now how it is different from the traditional literature review. So I have tried to give some kind of differentiation between these two phenomena. So first of all, SLR is conducting to answer a specialized question, right? As you can see in your papers that you started this literature review with some question, as you start your empirical work with some question. While in traditional literature review, there is no as such question, rather it is a compulsory protocol we will discuss in detail in the upcoming slides. In traditional research, no need to give any justification why we have taken this paper, from where we have taken this paper. It was just that whenever you are submitting your research, your literature review should be updated. If you're submitting in 2021, so it is advisable that at least 5 to 10 papers, since we are already halfway gone from the for 2021 also, so it is advisable at least 8-10 citations should be in your paper for 2021. Otherwise it would be seen as that you have not worked enough, or it's your old paper getting rejected, faced multiple rejections, and you are just resubmitting. So always make sure whenever you are submitting your paper, if it got rejected after 6-month desk, or after a review which has taken 4 months, 5 months, always try to update the literature at least for that year and then resubmit. Then research selection process, why it is called systematic? Because whatever protocol I will give in the paper, editor or reviewer can replicate or run that search string and can see that whatever I say, that I have found out 4,000 paper, then I have put this filter, then it came to 2,000, then I put this filter, then I came to 500. So they can do that. Of course, there is some time lag between when you are doing it and when the reviewer is saying it, but you also put the date in your methodology section sometimes, and it depends. You may put and you may not put, but generally it is better to put your date, on which date or in which month you have done that. So they take some factor in the period which has been gone within that time span, but it gives them fair idea that yes, you have done it. See, if I write that I searched this X topic on November 20, and in March somebody is reviewing my paper, and I mentioned that after following this procedure, 600 studies came. So by March, how many studies will come? It won't be 1,000. It would be around 700, 650, depending upon the topic, how many people are doing it. And you can see the dates also, right side, when this paper came out, a particular paper which is appearing on the search database. So editor or reviewer can make it very easily that whether they have cooked up that number or they have actually done that. So SLR paper is that way, very objective approach. It uses objective approach, and in research synthesis we try to present some framework, some knowledge maps. Though people put it that it is a small thing, or within 1 month, 2 months we can do. Of course it can be done, but that needs a dedicated team. Single-handedly you cannot finish SLR very fast. And for SLR, I will advise you should not have single person, because it will give a bias. It will add bias to a study. So SLR paper written by a single person, it's very difficult to find a home, because biasness is already there. I'm not saying that it's not there. We can find many people, but if you see the profile of the author, they are established author. So generally it's very difficult to land your paper on single authorship for SLR. The reason behind doing any SLR is that we are interested in finding some answer, while for traditional literature review we are just setting a background for the research. Now, this is the classical structure of the paper where we are talking about abstract, introduction, methodology, result, discussion, limitation, future work, and conclusion. Now, there are different studies which can, in conclusion, they can put one section of discussion, future work, and limitation. But more or less, these sections either categorically marked or not. But you will find these sections irrespective of the domain in the paper. And if it is not there, that means we are making our paper. Now, second question arises that how many words we should be writing for this section, because SLR paper ka what is the biggest problem, that sometimes we cannot control our words, and you should start that for which journal you are targeting, and you should also keep in mind the word limit of that journal, right? Because once you write the paper, it's very difficult to cut it down. So always start, whether you are looking for Elsevier journals or Emerald journals, or within Emerald there could be some journal which take big paper, or Wiley paper or journal, or Taylor and Francis. So it will always help you, because once it is written, it's very difficult to do cut short it, and it gives pain also, because you have put the time in writing that thing, and now you're cutting it down mercilessly. Now, what is the ideal thing? Let's say we are taking 10,000 as a standard word limit, right? Including references, maybe, or excluding references, that depends. So I'm here taking that 10,000 excluding references. So abstract would be 200 word or 250 or 300 depending upon the journal. Then introduction should be the 10% of whatever limit you say. So if it is 6,000 word paper, 600 should be introduction. Now this 600 is not a fixed thing. It's a vague idea or rough idea that your introduction should be near about that. Methodology should be 15%. Your result and finding should be 40% of your paper. Your discussion section is 15%. Most of the time, people mix these two sections, result and finding and discussion. This is very important, because discussion is something what you think about that findings. Result and finding is nothing, is a description. Whatever paper, let's say 40 paper you have taken for SLR, let's say 50 paper you have taken for SLR as a final study. So result and finding is just what they are saying, but discussion is what you are saying, right? So you cannot miss on that, because ultimately research is all about what is your view about that. It's not about you are just telling what others are saying. Based on their discussion, what you have concluded, people are interested in knowing that thing. And limitations, that what was the limitation that we have taken just this database, or we have done just this aspect, or we have just taken English language. There could be several limitations of SLR paper. Future work is again a very important section, which should take again 15%, at least 15% of the paper. Now, Justin Poole is a authority in SLR paper, and generally when he makes a call for paper for SLR studies, so he generally says it should be 25% of the whole paper. So that depends upon what is the reason behind call for paper. Are they looking for future work, what could be done? Are they doing in that thing? If nothing is mentioned, at least 15% of your work should be gone to the future work section, and 5% you can leave aside for the conclusion. 1-2% you can go up and down, but broadly this should be the structure. And once you write this thing, you will never go beyond the words, right? And of course, there should be an informative title also, and that title should match whatever you have done in your study. So let's take a challenge to write SLR in 21 days, though it's very difficult. That's why I put the word challenge, but nothing is impossible. So I have tried to divide different sections into days. I have not given day by day thing, because again it depends upon the person. Some people start slowly and really pick up, some people do other way around. So it depends upon you. But as a researcher, I could find one thing: once we are in the middle of deadlines, we do it. I don't know how, but we do it. Otherwise, if no deadline is there, we can stretch the paper for 1 year, maybe 2 years also. So deadlines work amazing for writing any SLR paper, and that's why sometimes special issue journal helps a lot in taking timely publication out, because there is some deadline of sending the paper and we have to do it. So in introduction, what are the essential things which one reviewer is looking for? Now, I have tried to give 4 components, at least these 4 components should be a part of introduction, apart from research question and objective. In SLR, you will find certain formats in which people has given research question in introduction, some has given in the, methodology section. So that depends which methodology you're taking. Like there are kitchen hand methodology available, there is Trenfield, there is Diner, there are several methodology available in the literature. So you have to mention which methodology you're following, and you just take out some paper, sample paper of that methodology based paper published in A-star category or A-star category. And whenever you please making any paper as your sample paper or as your inspiration, don't take any paper less than that, because those are the proven standard papers. Those are called the standard papers, and your work and your hard work should be paid properly if you will take a good paper as your sample. अगर आप start ही गलत से करेंगे, role model ही गलत को बनाएंगे, तो you all will fall in a ditch only, and it's very traumatic. So 4 main aspects are: first is background of the topic, second is rationale, third is previous work and position your work is the 4th main aspect of the introduction. Whenever we are writing any SLR, these 4 sections are expected from it. Now the section C, previous work, now that depends how much previous work is already done, what is the quantum, or if it is very less, you can just touch upon here and you don't talk about it. But if it is already a lot of previous work is done and you are again targeting a niche, so some researcher just 2-3 line give here just to give position their work, and in detail they introduce a different section. And again that depends which journal you are targeting, how many words you have in your hand, and what old work or what old literature previous work is available. So many, it's a judgment call. Research is all about judgment. So nobody can you give any 100% formula. It's more or less judgment call. But these are the fair, basic thing which generally a person or reviewer look. Now starting with the background rationale, I'll try to maximize it if you can see it. Now this is a topic paper from taking a future perspective of learning from the past is a systematic review of assessment instrument that aims to measure primary secondary education. Now this is the title of the paper. Now if you read this thing in this introduction, first paragraph, they have just given the background of the ICT in education. They started with very common sentence that ICT is generally becoming more and more integrated in our society. Both ICT resources and this are granted by young people. See, now because it is primary and secondary school student, so immediately they have jumped to the young people, because you have to be very careful with your words, because every word costs you a lot, in the sense of every word is eating your space. So we need to be very innovative with our word length. Unnecessary details should not eat up our space. Our main contributions are discussion, future, suggestions, result section, or methodology section for that matter. We should give ample space to them, rather than putting unnecessary detail or the same thing in again and again into the introduction. So better you come early to your point. Then they have also taken out ICT resources, then they have immediately come to pedagogical thing, and then they have told about that as a result, knowledge about how well student master these ICT competences to become proficient user is necessary from several agent perspective. So you can see that they have come to business very fast. Within one paragraph, you have to wind up your background, right? So if I am saying 600 word, 100 words, background, finish. Now in background also you can give some kind of, you can use some data also, that rapid, you can see this left one, ICT has made computers more friendly, it became significantly important, this was this. So you can quote some data also in background thing. That again depends upon your topic and how you are starting that story, and it takes a lot of time to think about the first sentence. At least I take a lot of time. When I have to write introduction, I really become sleepless in the nights that how I'm going to start it. I find it very difficult. Then second paragraph could be your previous work or gap. Now previous work, as you can see from this paper, and this is the latest paper, you can see 2021. So this is on big data analysis, big data applications, big data analysis applications have been explored only in private sector. Now they have telling what have been done by the prior studies. Now only in private means, that means we are started, criticizing in a subtle manner. You have to criticize or you have to show the limitation of previous work in a subtle manner. You cannot be like purana studies was bilkul bekar, unhone kuch nahi kiya, whatever going to do main hi karke dikhaunga. That tone should not be there. Your tone should be very submissive. In same line, you have to appreciate what others have done. You have to show that you have taken a clue from there, but also you have to show that what was the gap which could be filled by your study. So they have mentioned here in the one sentence only that they have explored only in private sector management practices. So we say that whatever they have done, it is good, but they have explored only in private sector. While there is a lot of growth, this leaves a considerable research gap. Even in public sector management domains that could use this. Now, in this particular paragraph only, the scholars have written why we are doing this study. What is the rationale? अच्छा ठीक है, private में हुआ है, हमें government में करना है या किसी और में करना है, but why we want to do? Who will be benefited? Why we should publish your paper? Why someone should read your paper? So to attract future IAS research attention to this field, it is vital to know some of the problem catered to the BDA. Now here they have put that why this particular research, which we are saying that it has been done, why it should have done. So you have to create a story like this. Earlier research, what was the gap, and how this gap is filling of gap is significant. This they have discussed in this particular paragraph. Moving further, see in this, because big data is not very old, or maybe in this whatever context they were doing, there might not be many studies. So they have done like this. Another example is that if you have 2, 3, 4 studies, so you can start like this. So what is the way of doing SLR, starting SLR? मैं बीच-बीच में आपको वो भी बताती हूँ. What I do, definitely there could be several styles, but what I do, first of all, whatever any topic comes into my mind that I should write SLR on this thing, I just go to Google Scholar and or 2, 3 like Scopus, Web of Science. Generally Google Scholar पे आपको मिल जाएगा. You write and review, this review. So you give good amount of time in searching whether that SLR is existed or not. And I would request you, don't only just rely on your search skill. Ask your friend or your potential co-author, if someone you know that would be able to or is ready to do with you. Ask 2, 3 people or whatever team you have to search separately about that topic, right? Because sometimes we have overexcited with the idea. Sometimes something happen, we are not able to see somehow, and it becomes very difficult when we are in the halfway and when we see that paper. So it's very hard throbbing. So better if you start SLR paper and you see it is not there, finish it quickly with a good team, right? So in this thing, there are different SLR. So if there are some SLR which are not exact on the same topic, but related thing, so you can develop this paragraph. What they have done, they have taken one SLR, they have summarized it in 2, 3 lines. one SLR, what they have majorly done. So you make a paragraph of that existing studies ka. Some has done, if more studies are there, so some have opened that kind of table also. So clearly you should acknowledge, see, hiding that already SLRs will not help you, because in any case reviewer and editor will see it. The first thing they will do is they will go to Google Scholar, or they have many other softwares also. They will go there and they will search it. It's always better to acknowledge whatever knowledge is there, because it will show that you are aware of your literature, right? This is another type that you can write related work. In this particular paper, they have presented it as different section in a related work. So whatever is your style, or whatever you find okay, you can follow that style. And you should not look n number of paper also, because you will not able to decide, you will confuse. So take 2, 3 paper, 4 paper as your benchmark paper, and whatever you like, and whatever is feasible to your concept. It's not that every type of SLR or every presentation would be feasible to your topic. So you have to see that thing. So please spend some time on planning rather than just starting to write it. Spend good time in planning your SLR. This is again one more. Now it comes to positioning your study. Now they are saying in this, with the current study undertaken, we deploy SLR review on emerging marketing discipline, and that drive BDA. It's the next paragraph of BDA paper only. We deploy these theoretical yardstick to guide the current study results, since the former provide a solid foundation. So all relevant application can be identified. So they are telling ki broadly what we are interested in doing, right? Sometimes people also give it as a purpose, that what purpose our SLR is going to achieve. Okay, so methodologically also they are telling ki primarily narrative review, and while our principal contribution lies, so they are telling how our SLR is going to help. Our principal contribution lies in adapting these procedures specifically to engineering education through collaboration between experienced engineering education researcher and a librarian whose area of scholarly expertise. So whatever they are contributing, they have explicitly present in introduction only. Now you also need to mention that how our work is going to contribute differently. So unlike different related work cited above, our study is focused on identifying and classifying ML algorithm or techniques used for identifying diverse software requirements on the SO only, right? We have selected 12 primary studied for SLR work. So you can see that only 12 study SLR. So sometimes people say, how many studies should be there for SLR? Nothing is there. We have seen studies of 10, 12, 50, 500, 200. So that depends upon your topic and how beautifully you are presenting and what you are saying through this thing. And you can always cite these study that this number is sufficient if reviewers raise some objection to that. Now, you should also mention that what is the unique contribution that these studies, it's another way some author has written that this disparity may be contributed to various reasons. Before that paragraph, they must have talked about literature review. So the evident differences finding of SLR study and the emergent nature of this research domain call for further research to investigate the multifaceted and complex nature of cyber stalking. Now, how your work is contributing. I'm just showing different samples. So you can see that there is no one way, but you have to see what way you can use. Also, this is introduction is a good place to tell what you are not doing or what you are doing. So hence, particularly in one paper, in this paper, Information Technology Adoption, author is saying that this research aims to review and classify article on technology adoption that had previously been published in IS rank journal. So they are saying that we are taking just IS rank journal within this year only. Okay, so they are saying कि maybe there are journal after 15 because you can see that paper is published in 18. So they are saying हमने 15 तक का लिया, 2006 से पहले का लिया, हम 10 year का we are providing. I'm assuming अगर ये 18 में है तो maybe शायद 17 में review पे गया होगा, maybe I don't know, but you can see the gap. So this is the good place to, in brief, tell your limitations also. So by reading the introduction, editor or area editor will come to know that what's unique strength of your paper, what you are doing, what you are planning to doing, or how and what is the state of current literature. In brief, in 200, 300, 400, or maybe in 1000 words, he will come to know about all the story. Trailer introduction is your trailer. Should I stop here for a minute to take your any query or anything you want to ask?
Participants, if you have any doubt till this point, you can directly ask to the ma'am, or if you need to have more clarification on the SLR, you are most welcome. I think more or less, ma'am, participants are working on their manuscript. Yeah.
So can I proceed further now?
Yes, ma'am. We are actually enjoying your session.
Pradipta sir, do you have any question?
Yes, sir, but I can.
Maybe we are running short of time, so let me finish. You please note it down, and I'll take it later on. Will it be a good idea?
It would be great, ma'am.
Because otherwise, we will, if we indulge in discussion, we may lose the PPTs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So objectives of the study. Now, whenever you're writing the objectives, these objectives should be precise and explicit, and you should understand. Somebody should, from your objective should understand what is your review scope. For example, it's a research paper. You can see the title: Electronic Government and Corruption, Systematic Literature Review Framework and Agenda for Future. So the research objective is to present the research profile of the studies linking e-government and corruption, to understand the themes that emerge from this, to discuss the research gap, to propose the route from which the future research, and to develop a conceptual framework. So which I talked about as your contribution. What you are contributing is your conceptual framework. So that means you can see that how all these objectives, first of all, they are not going in different lines. They are talking about same phenomena, and they are coming in line. That first of all, you will tell research profile, then the themes of those study. जब आपने existing theme बता दी, then you will talk about gaps. And when you are talking about gap, then you will tell what is the way to route that, right? And based on that, you will develop a framework. So it should be like building block thing, not whatever you could find. You have started clutter. कि okay, हम कर तो रहे हैं. In research, you all are experienced. We know that each and every word matters. Word as well as its placing matters. So to make a good paper, a very good paper, these are small things which we need to take care of. Now, by 4 days or 5 days, by that time, you must have done this thing. Then this is a vague classification. I'm just telling you, please don't take it as a challenge that we have to do in 4 days or something like that. It's just a broad way, right? Now we move to a research question. Why these research questions are justified? What is the main contribution and structure of the paper? Now you can see that your objective and research question should come in alignment, right? For example, which test instrument for managing primary and secondary school education? Which facets of ICT literacy? To what extent is the reporting? Now, you should consider one thing whenever you are developing a questionnaire. First of all, it should be very generic kind of thing. It should not be like very complex kind of thing that you have just put a hypothesis in a question form. It should not be like that. Second is that your question, try to make those questions which are more interrogative, in the sense that the answer should not be yes or no. Like if you say whether this affect X affect to Y, now if you think about that thing, the answer would be yes or no. But if you put a question, how X affect Y, so it would be more instigating, more inquisitive in nature. That question will tell me, okay, this person is going to tell me the process also. So you should also think about how to frame your question, which are better way to start a question rather than what and whether. Okay. Now this is another thing. Now in this thing, what are. Now this what gives only description thing, but which and how gives the research angle to these questions. So you should also pay attention the framing of the questions also. So in this, what are the latest emerging management? Of course, there would be what, because it is just descriptive part. Now this is your contribution part, that how these emerging management domains solve significant data analysis issue from a practical part of view. So sometimes we take these things very lightly, but you will be surprised to know that editor sees all these things, especially area editor. Sometimes we wonder why they have rejected our paper. There was no literature review in this paper. So it may be that they didn't like our style of writing the thing. Sometimes very obvious question we ask in our research question also make a reason of rejecting it. Let's say if I say whether content of social media management will help in engaging with the supply company. So it's already known, right? So there is nothing new which we can tell. Sometimes for the sake of increasing the research question, we think that chalo isko bhi dal dete, to kar hi rahe hain na hum. So some answers are obvious. So we should refrain ourselves in putting those questions. Now methodology, which ये जो 3 aspect है, planning, conducting and reporting, ये Trendfield 2003 के हिसाब से हैं. There are several, but I have just taken one just to show how we can go further. For SLR, what I say, keywords are the backbone or the foundation, right? If we are wrong here, our whole research is going to collapse in a minute. If we left any important keyword, our whole research is going to collapse. Now, what is the way to find out the correct keyword? The first way is that, because it is expected that if you are working in that domain, you know some keyword. But it is not necessary that we know all the keywords. The second way of doing it is that we look for any SLR existing in that domain and try to see what search string they have made. Then we compare it with our string. Then we can, alter our keyword. Third thing is the validation of keyword string from the expert, maybe any person, or peer review it. So it will reduce the bias from the keywords, that we are not biased, and you should report it while you are writing your methodology. And you have to develop the search string by using various Boolean operator or and. We will see it. Now, what is protocol? Protocol is all about how you came to those keywords, those initial keywords. Like you can see that we identified most prominent keyword best suited for the current study is big data and big data analytics. Once the raw data has been identified and downloaded along with the publication source and other information, the next step to identify relevant article to answer the current study. So deep diving. SLR has rounds of reading the studies. So it's not that first you have done, again you will read, again you will read. So it follows a funnel approach actually. This is another paper. They told that the essential yet challenging step in an SLR is to locate relevant studies, which in turn depends on setting the search criteria. Because if you are not good in string, you are not going to fetch the articles correctly. Then all work will be, waste. If a reviewer question your key search string that you have missed that thing, then how you are going to justify that? So it's better to put some time on developing this search string only. Now, in this search string, in this paper, e-government and corruption were the 2 main keywords of the paper, of the title. So they have searched all the keywords revolving these 2 keywords, e-government and corruption. So this is the detail they have given. While e-government is largely about exchanging information user, this, e-voting, e-democracy, e-participation, and similarly for others. So you can see this and or, that means they have started the search string. I'm just taking 1 minute for taking bottle. So you can see that. And it is not the only way to present the search string. There could be numerous ways. If you are short of word limit, then you can take this thing in appendix also. Now you will set the inclusion exclusion criteria. If you run this query in Scopus or in these main journals like Science Direct, Scopus, Wiley, Springer. Now one question also come, how many databases we should use? That depends upon your domain. I work in marketing, consumer behavior. Web of Science and Scopus are considered more than enough. You know, in most of the paper I've seen that. Now this is basically a screenshot of search query which we do in Scopus. I hope सबको पता होगा ये Scopus में कैसे run करते हैं. And maybe नहीं तो next time I will tell this thing. These are things you can also give the URL. It's all about showing how objective you were doing in your work. It's just that you are proving that we were very objective and no biasness is involved. So you can see that from each databases you have retrieved how many papers. So it make it 56. Then additional snowballing. What is snowballing? Snowballing means when you read the main paper out of this 56 paper you have seen, you have read their references. Then you compare it with your list of paper. By chance, if you find that some prominent paper you have missed, and why you have missed, sometimes Scopus gives faulty results that it leaves some paper, or maybe some paper may not be cited in Scopus. So, but it is a good paper and seminal paper and which is cited by many people. So you can add that paper in the way of snowballing, right? By going forward or by going backward. Forward means who has cited these papers. You can see that list also. Okay. Now these are different ways how people have compared this thing. And one thing you have always remember that your search word should be in accordance to your, keyword should be in accordance to your research question. अभी आपने देखा e-government and corruption, तो your keyword should be also in that sense. ऐसा नहीं कि e-government है तो e-governance या कुछ और पे चले गए और corruption है तो कहीं और चले गए. It should be related to that thing only. Always keep all your work, even for data extraction also, when we will do it, you should do in accordance to your research question. That is your boundary. Once you have defined your research question, of course you can do multiple things, but for that paper, that is your boundary. Okay, so don't get lost in the information of those papers. This is classical Prisma framework, जिसको बोल देते हैं. So basically, if you identify some source and how you can remove that, let's say you are using Scopus and Web of Science, then you have to differentiate कि कितने कहाँ से आया, then you will remove the duplicate. Then initial screening in the form of title you screen कि title से हमें पता चल रहा है और abstract पढ़ते हैं, एक quick read लगाते हैं, then you tell कि नहीं ये उस context में नहीं है. तब यहाँ पर आप फिर full paper पढ़ते हैं और वो देखते हैं कि whether that full paper answers your research question or not. वो उस तरह का पेपर है जिसने आंसर किया है. अगर yes तो आप रखेंगे, otherwise आप निकाल देंगे. उसके बाद आप लगाते हैं qualitative synthesis. Qualitative synthesis generally अच्छे papers, अच्छे journals they demand. So I will tell you what is the difference, what is quantitative synthesis. Now quantitative synthesis is one thing to reduce the number of papers also, and particularly helpful when you come up with 200 paper which fulfill your eligibility criteria. Now if you really further want to, and it's very difficult to extract the data of 200 paper or 300 paper, in that case you add some qualitative filter. Now this is the another diagram which people use. And by the way, from where, in which software or how do you make these diagrams? Anyone would like to share? In Word or somewhere?
Ma'am, I mean, some of them are using Prisma for making such chart, and I think all are having their own methodology of preparing the flow charts and the graphs, ma'am. But you can
Somebody would like to share that you are using what? Because I told it's two-way interaction, so I will also learn something, no?
Very true, ma'am. We can ask the participant if they are
They can write in chat box also.
Yeah. So participants, you are requested to mention the software which you are using for creating the diagrams.
Maybe you are making it Word, maybe in PowerPoint, then you are pasting, whatever you are doing. Okay, so I'll tell you one. If time permits, I will show you one software also. This is another way of showing the diagram, how we have come up to n number of studies for our SLR. What was our criteria of what you will say, filtering the papers. These are the two main databases from where we take the paper. This is the screenshot of Scopus. So I'm just skipping these slides. Then you know that क्वालिटी असेसमेंट के लिए डुप्लीकेट रिकॉर्ड और ये सब तो है ही, उसके अलावा what we can do, inclusion exclusion criteria. I will come to the quality criteria. The first, see, inclusion exclusion criteria. You can give this or many other, right? Generally we follow our domain papers in which they have mentioned it, and we accordingly do that. Now this is study specific. It's not something that everybody is going to do that. Complete citation published in English, especially if we are in India, we understand English better, so we leave other language paper. So this is common, but this is little something which not every study is doing. Even this is also study specific. If I want to make any TCCM framework or ADO framework, I will show you what is TCCM framework in case you don't know, or ADO framework. We generally go for this kind of empirical search wala thing, or you can reduce anything. But if you are making thematic analysis, or you are coming up with the cluster, you can take all the studies, whatever you want, even conference paper. So sometimes there is argument whether we should take conference paper or not. It's completely on you how much data you can handle. You will get justification for both. Then ये इनका स्टडी स्पेसिफिक इन्होंने अपना डेवलप किया. Another inclusion exclusion criteria. Now they have given whatever different search string used for different databases. Now this is something called, this is something from the paper where they have categorically mentioned that we use the following inclusion criteria: study related to e-government study discussing the relationship, empirical studies, exclusion tha review article, conceptual or theoretical framework, have no measures regarding e-use tool, and focusing only on the internet use. Okay, similarly this other study. So why I have pasted these paragraphs? Because sometimes when we are reading the paper, we overlook these details. So when we specifically look for one thing, you should always template करके इसको रखेंगे, so it will help us in writing our paper also. Now quality assessment में we go that way also. Okay, or we can do like this also. So depending upon many studies, again, not everything is possible in every study. So you have to see what best you can do. Now this particular study has taken H index. Sometimes some paper takes ranking of the journal, AA star, ABS 432. You can see that. So whatever you are doing, you write it. And it's always good if you can mention any reference, like they have said that in the line of this we have done this, in the line of this we have done this. So it will always reassure your work, right? And you can take anything for that matter. So they have developed a paper, and you can see the reference also, 63 studies. And this, I don't know how many studies they have taken in final. Now this is another example of any qualitative assessment. Somebody has developed it like that they have done this is called critic of research articles. they have done in this sense. Whatever article you are reading, you give some marks to your paper, whatever paper you are reading on the, and those marks will be decided by in agreement of all the authors, right? Because it will reduce the biasness. This is called coding validity or intercoder reliability. Now you have to do it before you extract the data, because after that there is no point of extracting the data. You have to mention it also, that how you made this agreement. Maybe depending upon the word limit of your paper, again it could be a paragraph, it could be 2-3 lines, right? But it should be mentioned. So you can see that disagreement in the coding was resolved by discussion between two researchers responsible for coding the study. In situation in which disagreement remained, an additional researcher was asked to review the study and express his or her views. Occasionally, the research group analyzed the study together to come an agreement. Moreover, in order to increase the reliability of quality analysis and interpretation result, a similar procedure with two researchers and follow-up meeting within a group was followed. So they have done that. So it is something advisable to put that thing also in your methodology section. Now we coming to the data extraction. How we can extract the data? See, it totally depends upon your research objective और रिसर्च क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज जो क्वेश्चन हम ढूंढ रहे हैं उसी का तो आंसर निकालेंगे ना एग्जिस्टिंग स्टडी से, राइट? सो अगर हमें फ्यूचर गैप देना है तो इट इज ऑलवेज एडवाइजेबल कि हम उनका भी फ्यूचर गैप का कॉलम ले लें, व्हाट दे हैव सजेस्टेड, व्हाट मेथोडोलॉजी दे हैव टेकन, इन व्हिच डोमेन they have published, what was their aim, whatever work they have done. Again, अगर empirical का काम कर रहे हैं तो what are the antecedent, what were the outcome, what was the mediator, what was the moderator, what was the control variable. So these all details will be collected in the data extraction form. So generally we use Excel for that, and you know that whenever we ask the young researcher if they wants to enroll for the PhD, we ask them. We ask them as literature review sheet also, but we can also, in literature review sheet, they extract as much as information possible most of the times. But in SLR, we are more focused on the information which will answer our research questions, right? So maybe source and reference, biographical detail, background, area of the study, what was the population of the study के location क्या था, characteristics क्या थी, qualitative overview, findings, outcome, process structure. So there is no common way, but that you have to decide. This is again one of the other item. Now I come to the result and finding section. For this section, I would like to show you paper more because it was a major section. I couldn't put those screenshot here, but let me see. I have tried something like this. If you talk about descriptive analysis or findings, it could be two kind of thing. The first is descriptive analysis and second is literature classification. Now when we talk about descriptive analysis, that in how many years it has been published, which countries, which journal, how many citations, how many databases, or which country area they are more cited, or something, some information like that. But when we talk about literature classification, we can talk about what methods all studies have used, what kind of relationship these studies have established between the variables, what was the context of the study, maybe technology adoption we are talking, banking hai, then हमारा tourism है, then हमारा hospital healthcare है, then हमारा hospitality है, then education है. What in what context, on what population, whether we have done for Asian or Australian or American or maybe young or maybe senior citizen or something like that. Setting is again country specific. What are the major theories and what was the concept that has been emerged. Now whenever we are doing a thematic analysis, whenever we are coding the data, we should this checklist ready with us, that have been paper carefully to get immersed with the data, specific segment of text pertaining to objective of the synthesis, publication details, another researcher check the extraction. So it's not that one is checking the extraction. If we have a team, we should check each other's work, right? Now this is different challenges and this is the result. So how you are going to show your result? So one way is that you are putting one research question and you are giving description, okay, which research question, how you are answering this research question. So this is one way of presenting the information. Other is that you can present the information in the tabular form also, like this. Then this is again in running text form. Now, as I told you, it's not only the finding but discussion also. So आपने देखा कि ICT का elderly में ज़्यादा use हो रहा है. Then you will discuss all these things, that the finding of review suggests that the elderly can benefit from ICT. At the same time, the high attrition rate of participants in the trial and inclusive result of ICT impact loneliness reduction. So you are going to add your view also. We will see in details with the full paper. अभी I just जो भी paper में थोड़ा सा था, I just cut it. But this is again another way of putting gaps, findings, connecting it with future research and implication. So you will find multiple samples. So you have to see what you can do. You know, self-efficacy is very important here. Topic ka suitability is also another important thing. So you have to see. Now I told you that future research agenda is very, very important. Now, how you're going to set? One way was that you have shared it here, and one was that you are telling here. So that you have to see. I will show you full papers how people have done. So when last time we, in last days of 21-day challenge, we should write conclusion. In conclusion, what should be the things that we should highlight? The key findings, all the limitations, right? Implication if possible, and gaps. अगर आपने गैप अगर नहीं दिए वहां पर, वैसे SLR में जनरली हम गैप यहाँ पर नहीं देते. There should be one separate section as I told you, but again depending upon the paper. Now this is one of the thing where conclusion and implication for the assessment of ICT literacy, they have given this thing that they are telling that quantitative बहुत कम थी, finding इन्होंने बता दी, then the purpose भी बता दिया, large majority of test ये करना चाहिए ये भी बता दिया, ये इन्होंने अपना finding बता दी, result बता दी, और ये इन्होंने आगे का काम बता दिया. Okay. Now future को जनरली लोग टेबल की फॉर्म में भी दे देते हैं. लास्ट में एब्स्ट्रैक्ट लिखना होता है. नाउ एब्स्ट्रैक्ट के लिए कुछ चीजें बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. देखिए, इफ यू आर टारगेटिंग एमरोल्ड, वहां तो जबरदस्ती आपसे सारे सेगमेंट स्ट्रक्चर्ड फॉर्म में करवा लेते हैं. लिमिटेशंस भी होगा, ओरिजिनलिटी भी होगा, इंट्रोडक्शन भी होगा. बट जब रनिंग होता है तो समटाइम्स हम थोड़ा सा उसको एक पेन की तरह उसको एक सीरियस नहीं लेते, जबकि दैट इज द फेस ऑफ आवर पेपर. सो in our life we give very much importance to our face, then why we do neglection to the abstract of our paper? We cannot do that. That is the face of our paper. So our abstract should have these information, background of the study, maybe in line. It's not, I'm not saying that we need to again put a full paragraph. Maybe in line we are just touching upon the things. Background ek line mein, from where we have data collected, what was the source, like Scopus लिया, Web of Science लिया, what is the study eligibility, that means हमने कितने साल का कैसे क्या किया, participant, हमारा अप्रेजल एंड सिंथेसाइज सिस्टम क्या था, हमने नरेटिव रिव्यू किया, हमने क्लस्टरिंग की, हमने कंटेंट एनालिसिस किया, हमने क्या किया, व्हाट वर द मेजर रिजल्ट, व्हाट वाज द मेजर कंक्लूजन और इम्प्लीकेशन, एंड सिस्टमैटिक रिव्यू रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर. नॉट मेनी पीपल आर अवेयर ऑफ दैट, बट देयर इज सम वेबसाइट where you can register your SLR after and give your protocol also that we are interested in doing this SLR. See, imagine that situation, you are ready with SLR and just 2 days before somebody has already submitted it. So if you can see that already your topic has been registered, you may shift to another topic, and if someone else see that this topic has registered already, maybe it's by you, you know, they can think of another topic. So it saves our energy. So Prospero is one website where generally people register themselves for the reviews which they are interested in writing. So it's not very popular abhi, medical wale zyada use karte hain because, but dheere dheere it's going to be popular. This is an example of a good abstract. You can see the title, A Contemporary Review of Residential Parking Lessons for Indian Cities. Okay, this is latest paper of 2021. So given India's urbanization rate, economic growth and population size, a rise in private vehicle ownership appears inevitable. See, they have set the background. Okay, to counter such undesirable externalities, cities should equip themselves with a strategy. They told need of the study. Now, this article derived from literature extracted from Web of Science. Along with need, they told कि हमने कहाँ से data लिया, हमने review किया, हमने क्या किया, and how, what was our outcome. The review is organized into 3 sections. What is the structure, what we have discussed, and what is the contribution, right? This article contribute to wider discourse pertaining to building bylaws. See, it's not necessary that every article will focus each and every, but these are expected things which one should write in the abstract. Your title should be informative. Whatever you're talking about here in your paper, that should be, done on the title also. For example, if you are doing something related to consumers, so your title will show consumer aspect. If you are doing some research on B2B, your title still should categorical tell B2B, right? So it should not be that thing is something else. A book can be judged by its cover. It's always good in the SLR literatures. So if you want to ask anything, Abhi, I'm stop. Before that, I would like to show you some paper, and you can also stay connected with me. These are my details. I just want to show you some papers now, which I really find very interesting. So I would like to start with this paper. This is paper on digital transformation in the maritime transport sector. Okay, and you can see it's very latest paper, and you can see that they have introduced it and these things already. So these are their question: what are the drivers, what are the success factor, and what are the barriers? So they have talked about 3 things: driver, success factor, and barriers. So they have done this research methodology thing, but these are their keywords, how they have put it. 95 was final words and 12 additional by snowballing. Okay, so they have taken thesis also. So this is their diagram. They have done snowballing and then backward. Now I'm sure you know that, and content and how you have analyzed. Inclusion exclusion criteria. Analysis. Now this is something related their results. This I couldn't show on this thing. Now they have also told about this sources, how, what are the journal paper, conference paper, this. Findings. Now if you can see that findings section are accompanied by the table for the same drivers, and they have explained in running text also. So full detail is given. Similarly, for CSF, critical success factors, and similarly for barriers. And not only this, they have shown, they have discussed it also. They're not just telling what is there, but what they could find out. So discussion section, in spite of writing a lot about them, is still there. Maybe it's not very big, 2-3 page, but it is there. Now this is something like, nowadays in SLR paper, people are looking for framework. Framework is something like pictorial thing which you can show that in one go, we can see what all is there. So this is all barriers, this is all enablers, this is our drivers. So this is a small snapshot of what they have done in the paper. And of course, these are their conclusion with the future research question. Okay, so this is one paper. This is another paper in which they have worked on fake news. Now, why? Finding from literature, and it lead to which research question? Future research question. Antecedent, consequence, intervention. This is another framework. You can say that antecedent, outcome, and intervention means mediation and moderation. So this is another. What lead to, what is the finding in literature and how it is leading to another question. Okay. This is another study, and I think yes. So this is a study published in good journal, DSS, Consumer Behavior in Social Commerce. So they have mentioned what is social commerce, to define their boundary. Boundaries define करना भी बहुत important है. अब because of word length, few people take 3 paragraphs to define them. Few scholars take 2 lines to define that. And then you can see that they have selected this, different sources. This is the results and findings, and then they are discussing what are different theories there, what are different methods there. So in their data extraction sheet, they must have taken all the theories, all the methods which people have used. Now, based on that, they have developed their integrative framework where they have taken SOR theory, stimulus organism response theory. So they have come up with this thing, antecedent, stimulus. So they have divided all the factor in stimulus, organism, and response. It is their contribution. See, this is how they have left the what you will say, for future researcher. They have suggested that thing. So this is their contribution. And lastly, they have acknowledged also fundings, limitation, conclusion. So these are few things, and one more thing I want to show you. Now you can see that how beautifully they have given future research thing. I just show you. This is the discussion thing. This is the descriptive thing, journal, theoretical paradigms, contextual and methodological. This is the framework they have come up, and findings, what they have found, and then a great big dedicated section to future work. Let me show you. You can see. Now they say that in future, what can be done? This is, I think, there. This is discussion and future research section. So they are discussing what they have found. Sath they are telling that this can be done. This section is designed to this. This is like in theory centric. They are telling what is done, and they are also telling what could be done. Like one possible direction to push the theory boundary in the research is to deploy the micro foundation notion to this. So of course, this is context specific. Not everyone is able to understand what they are telling, but we need to understand the string that within discussion they are telling this. So you can see that people have developed different discussion section also. People have merged them also. But the basic thing is that each and everything which I told, total 8 pillars of NASLR, they all are there. Either they have, come together in within one section, or they are separate section, but they are there. So this is the main thing which I wanted to show you. And now one tool which I was trying to tell you, just I show you. If I can stretch for 2 minutes, sir. Can I stretch for 2 minutes?
Sure. Go ahead, ma'am, please.
Okay. So in brief, just quickly, I will show you one. I don't know whether you use it or not, but I'm just showing you. So this is something which you can make. This is draw.io. Now you can make any diagram, any fancy diagram from here. You can try anything out there, and because it is a graphical type square kind matrix, you can see exact placement of your thing. You can just select it, you can move it anywhere. If you want to write something in between, you can do that. You can see that. Of course, this thing is not appropriate for this thing, but I have just, you can do that, like, you know. So you can make any diagram and you can save it from here. Okay, so make any line from here. Otherwise, you don't get straight lines. You face multiple of problem. Even you have a facility of flowchart also. So it's all about exploration. You can explore it. I find it very useful. You can even draw a table also. These are general things which you can add. And the good thing about this is that you can write in between. You can use colors, italics, points, arrows. You can use different thing into that. So any complex figure you want to show, which sometimes is not possible in PowerPoint or Word, very easily you can do, and it's free. So I just wanted to show this. I don't know if you are aware of that, but.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I used to struggle a lot for diagrams, and I use PowerPoint for that.
ओके हाँ, इन पावर पॉइंट इट्स डिफिकल्ट, टेक्स्ट में बॉक्स डाल के फिर वो सब होता नहीं है, और फिर वो स्पेस का भी क्रंच होता है.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
Yeah, madam.
So
I am using that only.
Sorry?
I am using that only, madam. Data type.
Ji.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. So I just shared in case if somebody didn't know about that. So I'm open to questions. Please ask.
Pradipta sir, now you can ask your question.
Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello, sir.
This was a really very good session because I am from computer science, so SLR it is the first workshop I am attending, and I am learning about SLR.
Okay, sir.
We do review in our technical paper, but even I didn't know there are so many terms: Peacock, Pico, Prisma, E-Salsar. So these terms I learned here. But one question which is still I'm trying to find out.
Yes, sir.
This is not a technical question.
Ji, sir.
Every expert or every author is saying that for SLR paper there should be more people involved.
Yes.
Single author cannot write, and someone also said that if your SLR paper is having single author, then there is a chance of rejection. Chance is more.
Yes.
So my curiosity is that how a PhD student can write SLR paper, then means guide is not going to write. So it is a discouragement for a PhD candidate to go for SLR paper, or is there any way?
Sir, two things are there. We are undermining the role of guide also here. It's not that every time he will write a text in the paper. So there are variety of guide. First of all, we need to understand there is no one type of guide, who doesn't contribute anything. So there could be different types of guide. And second thing is that if let's say guide can at least see the paper, and there are two authors, and with the guide permission, you can always add third person in your research also. See, when you are writing for your PhD, your name and your guide's name should be there, but that doesn't mean there could not be third. If you feel that you need extra hands, you can request your guide, ask your guide to add your friend also, right? So then you can have help, and your guide is always there to validate the things. So he has his role for proofreading. That is again very important thing, which sometimes we don't pay much attention to it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other question?
Yes, ma'am. I have one question.
Thank you, Shiva.
What about we think of a topic and we start doing some review on that, and then comes a bibliometric analysis on that?
a bibliometric analysis is always catering on 2-3 things only, like co-citations or keywords, or co-occurrence. It has certain pattern, right? Cluster bata dega. So you can go to TCCM framework. Let me show you what is TCCM framework. See, you have to defend your paper. I show you one paper, how people has defended. I hope you can see my screen.
No, ma'am. You
Okay.
need to share it.
Okay, give me just 1 second. Now you can see.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is paper which you can see is in 2021. Now this paper is on marketing and tourism, and you can see that problems with existing systematic review. I will not ask you to write problem. Maybe you can say limitation or gaps in existing systematic review. Now you can tell categorically. See, यहाँ पर भी whatever topic they have chosen, उस पे 4, 5, 6 हो चुके. Can you see that? Right?
Yes.
Analysis, publication, content analysis, bibliometric. और जो bibliometric paper हुआ है, उन्होंने limitation दिया होगा ना कि bibliometric की ये limitation होती है. You can cite that and you can sell your paper on that. Are you getting it?
Yes, ma'am. I'm getting this because
So-
then, yep.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
see how many papers you can see. They have mentioned that they are acknowledging they are occurring, but again they are telling how our paper is different from this thing. See, 71 studies, some has done n number of things. You know, they are telling co-citation. See, this is bibliometric paper, Chang and this. So they have mentioned what they have done and what they are doing. No, I show you their work. They have combined 2 framework, ADO and TCM. TCM framework with ADO framework. See what they have come up. Let me show you. And that's why this paper is in JBR. I don't know ये rotate कहाँ से होगा, or I think you can see that it's a bit.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay. I can also download similar paper. I can search for it and go
This is the
through.
paper. You can see always.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so you have to think innovatively,
Right.
and this problem will always come with SLR. So it's always good that you see that, but again, you have a chance that how you can position your paper differently. ये नहीं कर रहे तो आप दूसरा काम कर लो उसमें.
Right, ma'am. Another question which comes to mind is once you've done a SLR paper and you're doing it, you identify the themes which are prevalent in the literature and then try to cluster the papers and write a review on them. But what comes to mind again and again, am I missing something? How can I be sure that I'm not missing any theme? So this comes to, though I review everything twice, thrice, go through it, but then also this question delays the work.
I don't know whether you are aware about bibliometric or not. Though nowadays you don't see many publication on bibliometric, but bibliometric will help you in identifying the themes, or WOSWEAR for that matter. And you can see my YouTube. I've shared my YouTube link also. There you can see the videos of WOSWEAR and bibliometric as well. So it will help you in telling what are the main cluster. Then you can compare it with your cluster. So broadly, you will be doing that, right?
Right. Thank you, ma'am. That was like I wanted to gain a little. Means how to confirm this thing. It was for. Thank you,
So
ma'am.
you can run this software just to see you are not missing anything or not. Maybe you are not doing that, but you can check it.
Yes, ma'am. Surely.
Anything else? Anyone? I hope I have answered question, Shivani.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. One more question.
बताइए.
Somebody was saying that if you're doing a literature review, you can get it registered with a journal before we
Yeah.
sure, and how that can be done.
You go to that site, which is Prospero, Prospero. You just go there, log in there, and see what all requirements are there. It's not very famous, but in times to come, it will.
So it's Cross Sparrow.
Pros.
Pros.
Prospero. Prospero. Basically, people from medical field generally do that because meta analysis होता है, वो इतने सब studies करते हैं और उसके बाद कोई और ले ले तो because their research is little typical, complicated than ours. So this literature review also started from their line only. We are just followers in social science.
Yes, ma'am. And one more question is, like, suppose we identified how good, according to you, is to hit only a very specific area. Like, even in, let's take an example of, example is like, I was looking for the factors for related to financial literacy, like the factors and barriers for financial literacy, retirement planning, and then specifically towards a specific criteria or demographic profile of women or the young people. So do you think going this way is good, getting as much narrow as we can?
थोड़ा सा लेट हो गए शिवानी. आई थिंक एक पेपर आ चुका है इसके ऊपर.
Yes, ma'am. I've seen it.
जर्नल ऑफ बैंक मार्केटिंग में आ गया कीर्ति गोयल का पेपर.
Yes, ma'am. Yesterday I saw that. It was
Yes.
very
थोड़ा
nice.
सा लेट हो गए हो. So हाँ, इसके ऊपर पेपर आ चुका है and definitely you can go do that. और अब आप उन्होंने ऑलरेडी इतना कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव कर दिया तो आपको कुछ और ही लिखना पड़ेगा.
Yes, ma'am. I've seen they have given future scope area as well.
ये जो मैंने ज़हूर का पेपर आपको दिखाया था अभी, that paper is based on Kirti Goyal's paper is based on that Zahur's paper. And why I can say so because Kirti का पेपर अभी है, Zahur का पेपर पिछले 1 साल से मेरे पास है. So that's why I'm confident that paper came early.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing, ma'am. I think we can connect with you on LinkedIn, and if any further query, we can.
Any time. I have shared my details with you, my email ID, my YouTube channel, my Facebook, LinkedIn, everything. You can catch me anywhere.
Surely, ma'am. We will. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other question? I am looking forward.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah, Shilpi, tell me.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi.
Ma'am, can we save the diagrams through that app?
हाँ, वहाँ पे था ना, फाइल था ना, फाइल में जाएंगे वहाँ पर और वहाँ पर आपको मिल जाएगा. दिखा देती हूँ. अरे ये है ना? Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
सेव हो जाएगा.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
I hope I could tell you something and you may not feel that your 1 hour has been wasted. So looking
It was
forward.
really insightful. A number of things have gained, and the most beautiful thing of the presentation was like you put everything into a timeline, and that's a huge motivation that this thing can be done in a given time span.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you. So,
Tanvi ma'am, you want to ask anything? Tanvi ma'am? Your voice is not audible. Rashmi ma'am, do you have any question? Not only ma'am, you are not audible. Sure, ma'am. I think Dr. Tanvi Verma has a question for you, ma'am. We
Yeah.
can wait for just 10-20 seconds and she'll be joining.
Can you switch on the camera, please? I'm showing my face. I want to show yours also.
Ma'am, unfortunately, my webcam is not working, and
I'm requesting others participants if they can
understand.
switch on their camera if they
Rajit,
don't mind that.
Ma'am, now it is working. Now you're audible, ma'am.
thank you. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi, Tanvi.
I hope you're doing well, and thank you so much for such a beautiful expression of SLR.
Thank you.
Really, I'm really thankful because as you have explained the things very beautifully along with the timeline, so we are actually motivated for the same. And one more thing I wanted to ask, ma'am, for example, we are on to a track of a particular domain, for example, marketing or strategy. And therefore we want to narrow down, for example, हमने कोई भी एक topic लिया, हम उसको और narrow करना चाहते हैं. कई बार we want to search about very new recent terms which has not been researched upon yet, or very few research studies are there. So is there any platform, or we just have to Google again and again, or something comes up?
Tanvi, when you know that it is a very recent thing, I think SLR is not a right kind of study which you should do on that.
Okay.
That topic should be at least 5-7 years old in that domain, because whenever you are putting the first study of that paper, right, and today's date, at least in good journals they take at least 10 years होना चाहिए.
ठीक है मैम.
क्योंकि आपको ये पता कहाँ से चलेगा, जब आप स्कोपस पे डालेंगे अपना डोमेन, वहां पर आपको फर्स्ट पेपर दिख जाएगा किस दिन से आया है, मोटा मोटा ब्रॉडली, है ना. तो वहां से यू विल गेट टू नो. स्कॉलर आपकी हेल्प नहीं कर पाएगा इसमें, स्कोपस या वेब ऑफ साइंस आपकी ज्यादा हेल्प कर पाएगा.
ठीक है. अगर मैम हम SLR को साइड पे रखेंगे, वी डोंट टॉक अबाउट SLR, सो इन ऑर्डर टू हैव अ रीसेंट ट्रेंड, अगर हमको कुछ न्यू टर्मिनोलॉजीज एंड ऑल सर्च करना है, सो आई थिंक देन गूगल स्कॉलर वुड हेल्प.
नहीं, स्कोपस भी कर सकता है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, पर स्कॉलर के साथ प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि वो अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट्स में ले जाता है, आपको फिल्टर्स नहीं लगा सकते आप सब्जेक्ट वाइज, यू नो. और जबकि एक कंसेप्ट है जैसे जनरेटिविटी साइकोलॉजी का, और मैं क्योंकि बिहेवियर में करती हूँ, तो उसमें बड़े सारे ऐसे कंस्ट्रक्ट आ जाते हैं जो साइकोलॉजी में, हेल्थ में, इधर उधर अलग अलग डोमेन्स में होते हैं. अब उन पेपर्स का मेरे पेपर से कोई लेना देना नहीं होता. तो स्कॉलर में थोड़ा सा इशू ये आ जाता है कि आपको बहुत ज्यादा डेटा माइनिंग हो जाती है बेसिकली वो.
ठीक है मैम. ठीक है.
बेटर है कि आप स्कोपस वगैरह पे जाएं, तो आप अपने कम से कम डोमेन को रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर सकते हैं, तो आपको इतना टाइम खराब नहीं करना पड़ता.
ठीक है मैम. ठीक है. थैंक यू सो मच.
You're welcome.
Ma'am, I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
SLR पे जितने भी हम टेक्निक्स बात कर रहे हैं कि इको, प्रिज्मा, ये ऑलरेडी है, हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं. तो अगर हम ये बात करते हैं करेंटली न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलपमेंट पे क्या रिसर्च हो रहा है, लाइक सब्स्टिट्यूट ऑफ प्रिज्मा और समथिंग लाइक, जो उस डायरेक्शन में, तो इसमें कुछ बता सकते हैं?
सर, आप जब नए पेपर्स देखेंगे ना, 2021 के पेपर्स देखे, 20 के पेपर्स देखे, तो वहीं से आपको थोड़ा सा स्क्रॉल डाउन करना पड़ेगा कि लोग अब कौन सी कर रहे हैं. और उसमें भी आपकी जो मैनेज कंप्यूटर साइंस है, उसमें किचन हेम की ज्यादा यूज होती है रेदर देन ट्रेंड फील्ड. तो आपको अपने डोमेन के ही लेटेस्ट पेपर देखने पड़ेंगे.
ठीक, ओके, थैंक यू.
वहीं से पता लगेगा आपको कि हाउ. और वैसे ज्यादातर हम लोग अवॉइड करते हैं नई को, क्योंकि पुरानी को हमें जस्टिफाई नहीं करना पड़ता. क्योंकि नए को ये सब प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि कई बार एडिटर ने उसको नहीं सुना होता, तो दे मे फाइंड सम फॉल्ट इन इट. और अगर आप ऐसी कोई मेथोडोलॉजी पहले लगा दोगे जिसकी 10,000, 20,000 या 80,000 साइटेशंस है, वो कैसे मना करेंगे उसको?
बट एक्चुअली व्हाट आई वांटेड टू से मैम कि सपोज मैं उस डायरेक्शन में काम करना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे प्रिज्मा एक प्री डिफाइंड वेल एस्टेब्लिश टेक्निक है, एक आपके फ्लो है, ये होने चाहिए जी. मैं चाहता हूँ कि हम कुछ ऐसे डिजाइन करें वो भी हमारे SLR के ऑब्जेक्टिव्स को मीट करे, प्रिज्मा में जो डेफिनेशन जैसे जिस ऑर्डर में है उस सबको रिक्वायरमेंट करे, बट इट शुड बी न्यू कंट्रीब्यूशन. जैसे हम न्यू मॉडल डेवलप करते हैं, न्यू फ्रेमवर्क करते हैं, न्यू एल्गोरिथम.
हाँ, तो एक्चुअली मैंने इस तरह का काम किया नहीं है कभी, लेकिन आप उसको मेथोडोलॉजी, जो न्यू मेथोडोलॉजी के पेपर्स होते हैं ना, राइट, जर्नल्स होते हैं, आप वहां पर टारगेट कर सकते हो उस पेपर को। ऑफ कोर्स रिसर्च जो इन्होंने दिया ये भी किसी ने दिया ही होगा कभी ना कभी, ये भी फर्स्ट टाइम रहा ही होगा। तो आप मेथोडोलॉजी जो जर्नल्स हैं जो नई मेथोडोलॉजीज को सीख करते हैं, और कभी कभी स्पेशल इश्यूज भी आते हैं। अभी आई एम जस्ट फॉरगेटिंग, एक इशू आया हुआ था किसी मार्केटिंग वाले का कि नई मेथोडोलॉजीज के ऊपर उन्होंने एसएलआर आया हुआ था उनका, मतलब स्पेशली कॉल फॉर पेपर था। तो यू ऑलवेज लुक फॉर दिस काइंड ऑफ कॉल फॉर पेपर्स।
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, and otherwise you can write to the editor of these journals and you can share your plan, that what you are planning, then they can guide you. They are very forthcoming, they can always guide you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Any other thing?
I think, ma'am, we are because participants are very much enlightened with such a beautiful talk based on the systematic literature review. They got some insights of the newness of this SLR through you, and it's a remarkable thing that, ma'am, you spared your precious time for all of us in order to tell us the systematic literature review. So on behalf of Chitkara Business School, ma'am, and Chitkara University, Punjab, I would like to extend my gratitude for you. I mean, you spared your, as I said earlier, that you precious time for all of us, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Honors is all mine, Rajat. I am looking forward to getting connected with you. Feel free.
Sure, ma'am. Right. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was really a great session.
Thank
I
you.
really liked it and loved it as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a nice day. Good
Thank
luck
you.
for your paper. Good luck.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Definitely, ma'am. See you, ma'am. Bye.
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 Sure.
That was a great session. It's
It was a great session, ma'am.
I hope the rest of the participants have also enjoyed that.
Yes, ma'am. I hope all the participants they are done with their lunch. Just to know.
रंजीत सर अभी तो शुरू करना था, हम सेशन सुन रहे थे।
I know, because I saw that